Okay, quick note on self-compassion. All right, most of us have a voice in our head that's pretty critical and makes us feel ashamed or judges us when we don't do something perfectly well, especially as parents. We're particularly prone to guilt. Guilt is okay in that it helps motivate us to do better or try something new. But shame says that we're bad and tends to lead toward paralyzation or wanting to hide. And it's not very motivating. So self-compassion is so powerful because what the guilt and shame are trying to do, the critical voice in our head is trying to do, is get us to mobilize to do something different and better. But it often has the opposite effect. Self-compassion, however, is mobilizing inherently. And here's why. I heard this wonderful metaphor once that if you imagine some guy running naked past your window, your first thought about that guy would be like, yikes, what's wrong with him? And you'd want to kind of keep your distance. But if you look down the road and saw a burning building, what would that change about what you're assuming about that guy? You might imagine, oh my gosh, he's running for his life. Come on in here. Let me put a blanket around you and give you some tea and see what you need. Suddenly you have all this compassion for him and desire to lean towards him because you have a greater understanding of what's happening to him. So if we apply that to ourselves, if we can find the burning building, in other words, if we can increase our understanding about why we're doing what we're doing, what's behind that, what's underneath it, what's the motivating, driving thing underneath it, then we can increase our compassion for ourselves because we have more understanding, which then increases our ability to forgive ourselves, which helps us to relax, which helps us to get less tight, less nervous, less critical of ourselves, and therefore often more critical of our kids, and then allows us to have the freedom to try something new because we know we're not going to be mentally punished for it. So all the things that our kids are needing, we're also needing, but from within. And, for some of us, it's really helpful to receive that understanding, that compassion and that forgiveness from something greater as well, like God, or at least from our partner or from friends who've been through it, and then be able to apply that to ourselves. So self-compassion is powerful. It's not easy. It takes practice.